Volvo's brand Polestar has been teasing us for a couple of weeks now that they were very close to unveiling a direct competitor to Tesla Model 3. And this is not something that we in the media made up. Volvo and Polestar was very clear that that's what they're going for. They've unveiled one overnight. They will actually premiere the physical car at the Geneva Auto Show in a couple of weeks. They did kind of a virtual online presentation today. So I'll tell you all about it, and I'll tell you if it really is a competitor to Model 3 or yet another hit and miss. All of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric! Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. It's free. That way you join our community here where we talk about electric cars, news, reviews, and so forth, and you won't miss any of this moving forward. All right, so Polestar unveiled their Polestar 2. As you know, Polestar 1, and here's a picture that I took while I was at the Monterey Car Week. I took it myself, and there's a story on my channel about this car. It is a plug-in hybrid at $155,000 price tag. There is a small market for it. They're only going to be making these in the amounts of, I think, 500 units per year, I believe. So that was kind of their introduction of their brand, but now they're all about this one. It looks okay. Let me know in the comment section if you guys digging the look. I think it's very much goes in the same sort of direction as the rest of the Volvos and the original Polestar. Here's the, okay, so that's the first one, right? So as you can see, similarities. And then, of course, this is from the side. Let me show you guys full screen as well. I'm not really as impressed this way, I have to say, but again, it's a matter of taste. Here's another shot of the back. I'm digging this a little bit more. And here's what it looks like inside. Now, don't forget, this one is powered by Google Android. This is the first car that's kind of powered by Google Android. It's going to have Google Assistant and a lot of other cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Vertical screen. I also like that. And pretty simple, but luxury design, all vegan interior, which is great. I mean, they really kind of nailed it as well. And just like I said, the presentation was online. Normally brands don't really do that. Again, you know, they're going to do this at the Geneva Auto Show, so I kind of thought that that's where they actually going to present it. But let's talk about what the specs are. So first of all, they're going to be producing it in China, and they will start production in about a year, early 2020. I think you know, I literally just interviewed Sandy Monroe, and he had some very interesting things to say about, you know, car manufacturers, you know, making it more sense for them to start producing the cars in China and then importing them to Europe and United States. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see that interview. I'm going to be posting it tomorrow. Now they're going to start with the most expensive version, kind of like Tesla did, and it's going to be translating from euros to American dollars about $63,000, and they're going to do that for a year. They're going to say, listen, first year we're just going to be you know, selling that, and as they're showing the sort of the interior of the car and some of the features for the user interface, which just like I said, I'm kind of digging. And then they're going to go to their, you know, more affordable version, and the base is going to start, again translating to euros, a little over $45,000. Now, you know, that they compared to the 35,000 Model 3 version, to which I think they were aspiring to. It's about $10,000 off. We'll talk about it in a second. 72 kilowatt hour battery looks like. And by the way, the subscription model is coming for, you know, as far as pricing is concerned, 275-mile EPA targeted range. So that's for as far as the battery is concerned. And they're going to produce it for the Chinese market, then they're going to move to United States, then Canada, and then to some countries in Europe. They actually have a certain order at which they're going to be rolling this out in Europe. So they have a pretty good plan, if you ask me, for this. But let's talk about if they've actually reached the goal of being able to compete with the Model 3. I don't think they have, simply because if you want to compete with Model 3, you need to at least equal their range, which they didn't. You have to equal their price, which they didn't. Though I have to say that by the time it's being sold in the United States, if everything, and it looks like the EV tax credit will be kept, that $10,000 difference will be cut by $7,500, right? The Tesla won't have it anymore. Polestar will definitely have it. So the price will only be about $2,500. So I guess in those terms, they've succeeded. But everything else, we don't know the 0 to 60 yet. We don't know the charging speed and all of that stuff. But from the specs that we see right now, I don't think they've succeeded with their goal. Came relatively close. Definitely a respectable car with a respectable price as far as electric cars are concerned. Not sure if this is the sexy look that can beat the look of the Model 3 that appeals to a lot of people. So let me know in the comment section if you guys think they've succeeded. But let's talk about positives and negatives. Before that, of course, I want to make sure that you guys are aware that this channel and this video is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla Model 3 and all Teslas. There's a discount code in the description of this video, so go ahead and grab it so you can save yourselves a few bucks. All right, let's talk about positives and negatives. Well, obviously the positive is that this is the first all-electric car from Volvo, from their electric brand Polestar. And once again, welcome to the competitive market of electric cars. This is definitely pushing everybody forward. Just like I said, I don't think they pushed a Model 3 enough, but I think as far as competing with other cars, other electric cars, this is not bad. So I think it should have just never said anything about targeting Model 3. I think they should have just kind of said, listen, this is our Volvo car and it's going to be an amazing one. And it is, but I think what's kind of hurting them is that they've compared it to Model 3 and gave us like this high expectations. So I'm not really sure if that was a good idea. Now they do have production plans for this. They are starting production. It's in China, which means it will be probably more affordable. That's probably how they're able to keep the price tag relatively low, especially if you're counting the incentives in the United States and around the world where it's going to be sold. Again, production schedule is always good to have. That means they're serious. That means that they already have most of their stuff in place, supplier contracts and so forth. So that is all good. The only negative, and let's move on to the negative. I think I kind of already covered it, but it's not a Model 3. It's definitely not a Model 3. I don't think I don't think there's going to be a competitor. I think it's more for maybe people who want more conservative Volvo type of the brand car. And there are tons of people out there. I just don't, obviously the performance, they haven't announced too many specs about that, but don't forget Model 3 is just a car that's also very, very sporty. You can take it to a track. I don't think this is the car where you will be able to do that. But hey, listen, you and us, the entire community, will be the judge. We'll see how many reservations they are going to take. I believe they will start taking reservations at the Geneva Auto Show, at least at the time of the actual unveiling. Not sure why they did it this way. Not sure why they unveiled it kind of like online first, but hey, all of this publicity won't hurt. By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons, Sean Morton. Thank you so much for joining my Patreon community, the only place where you can watch me live. And of course, thank you to all of my Patreons for supporting and contributing to my channel. As you can see, you can go to patreon.com/e4electric to join. That link is also in the description of this video. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your comments, and I'm sure Polestar does as well. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.